Hey, how's it going everyone? This is William here. In today's Fuji Friday, I really only have two news items to discuss, so let's go ahead and get right into it. The first item is we got our first rumors about the new Fuji X100V or 5, depending on which way you want to look at it, but this is the 5th generation of the camera for the X100, and it looks like it's going to be announced in February 2020, so that's going to be pretty soon. January is usually a bad month to release anything because everybody's recovering for the holiday season. But when you get around to February, people are starting to get tax returns, so there might be some spending money for a new camera body. This one looks to be going for about $1,500, which is about what you would expect for one of the latest cameras from the Fuji lineup, which is a really good price for a crop censored camera. Now, this particular type of camera body is really not my style because I prefer camera bodies that are going to be better suited for video, but this is more of a run and gun, street photography, grab and go camera, which has a really good following. In fact, on the next news article, you'll see that it came in third for cameras that people are waiting for, which is really surprising. But like I said, again, it's not my type of camera, but I can respect the design because it is very popular. So as more rumors come out about the specs, I will definitely cover it. The current camera body for this model is over 3 years old, so it is getting a little bit long in the tooth. So for anybody who's really excited about this camera body, definitely ask your friends and family to give you gift cards. You can save up for it, and hopefully you will have this ordered and ready to go sometime in February 2020. The next news item that I want to discuss, and this comes from FujiRumors.com, in which they had a poll on which camera bodies that people are most excited about for 2020, because we know Fujifilm is going to release at least 2 to 3 camera bodies each year. And what's really interesting is that the X-H2, which is a camera body that we don't know anything about, and we don't really expect to have a new camera body for that in 2020, actually tops the chart at #1 for most anticipated camera body that people want. Which, once again, there's a lot of people talking to me about the X-H2 and what they would want from that camera system, but we really know the least amount about the X-H2 because there's been so much rumors about either it's canceled or it's actually in development. There has been Fuji managers that have gone on record saying that the X-H series is not canceled and it is in development, but I also hear from a lot of people talking to Fuji reps saying that the line is canceled, so we are getting a lot of conflicting information when it comes to that camera body. But as you can tell, there is definitely a market for it, and I would agree with them because I am filming right now on an X-H1. It is my main studio camera and I love using it. It's really kind of a funny thing because it is a really great workhorse camera, but when it comes time to actually recommending either the X-T3 or X-H1, I usually end up talking more about the X-T3 because it has the newer specs, it has the better features, it's going to get firmware updates. It's those things that kind of excite people when they're actually wanting to move into a new camera body. So I always point people mostly in that direction, but when it comes to actually just getting work done and just wanting a camera body that's really easy to use and it's really great in hand, what I think is happening here is a lot of the Fuji people that actually know a lot about the Fuji cameras already, they gravitate to the X-H1 because they just want a workhorse camera and they know what they're getting. They know what's important to them and they know that the X-H1 fulfills all of the requirements. They don't really buy into the hype. They don't really need firmware updates to get excited about a camera body. They just need something that works really well and gets the job done, and the X-H1 definitely fulfills that role. It's just that in my position, when I'm trying to get somebody excited about a camera body and wanting to buy into a camera line, the X-T3 just has a lot more features to talk about. There's way more videos on YouTube, and it has won more awards in 2019 than any of the other Fuji camera bodies, so it's very easy to recommend the X-T3. I really am glad the X-H series has a very strong following because I would love to see a second generation of that camera body because it did do a lot of things right. The only thing that I will want to add, and a lot of people already know what I'm going to say, I really do want a larger internal battery because when you're doing video, you suck through those batteries super quickly. You pretty much are reliant on external USB power if you're going to be doing any sort of long-term video. So that's something I'm looking forward to seeing in the X-H2 whenever it comes out, and hopefully the camera line isn't canceled canceled. Now, the second most anticipated camera is the X-T4, which is to be expected because next year I am expecting to see an announcement of the X-T4, and hopefully we will get pre-orders and get delivery of that in 2020. And we've already seen rumors of the X-T4, and the specs are pretty ridiculous, and if we get all of that, it's definitely going to be a terrific camera, even though the X-T3 right now is still more than capable of doing everything that you want. It's just that there's always going to be a spec war, and they're going to be continuing to push boundaries with the XT line. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what the next generation of XT cameras is going to be able to do. And then, of course, third, I've already talked about it, but the X100V or 5 is going to be coming out early 2020, and it is the next most anticipated camera. Again, it's another one of those niche cameras with a very strong following inside the Fujifilm's community. So hopefully that's going to become a great camera for you guys. But those are the top 3 cameras that are going to be anticipated for 2020, and I expect at least 2 of the 3 to be announced. So we don't really know what's going to happen with the X-H2, but hopefully we get some more firmer rumors, or at least somebody at the top of the Fujifilm's management to say whether or not this is actually still in development or not, because there's just so many contradicting rumors going back and forth. It's kind of weird for a camera body that's actually this popular. Anyhow, that's all I have to talk about this week. I hope you're having a great holiday season, and I hope you have a great weekend. I'll talk to you next week.